Andrea, we're on Martha's Vineyard and we're talking about Poison in Paradise. Was this a wonderful journey into a thoughtful, compelling mystery, or was it a trip from hell?
Oh my. Oh my.
This is Eric,
This is Andrea.
and this is Hallmark Mysteries
And
and
more.
more.
Oh wow.
This podcast was created by fans for fans and is not affiliated with or sponsored by Hallmark or the Hallmark channel.
Okay, well that intro was great. A little recap on this movie. So this is movie 4 of 4 and it aired in 2021. So people are kind of thinking, where did this sit in the landscape of the Martha Vineyard mysteries? It was the last one. It is Poison in Paradise, when a local waitress is found dead on the beach and a mysterious deposit appears in Z's bank account. Martha Vineyard proves to be all but the simple scenic life that Jeff Jackson was after. It put a period in there that it shouldn't.
Or maybe.
Well, woo! This one, Eric. This one. What did you
This one.
think of this one? What'd you
Well,
give it?
I will say it is not my favorite series.
Okay.
Um, I gave it a 2.5. Mostly, I mean, that's half. It's a little lower than what I would say average. A 2.5. It was okay. I don't know. Other thing I have, why Hemlock? Always Hemlock. Hemlock's killed at least one person, it seems like, in every series. I don't know. I don't know. Jesse,
Okay.
I know Jesse Metcalfe has his legions of fans. I'm not really one of them. I think he personally kind of plays his role as a caricature of a grizzly Boston detective, retired detective kind of thing. I I don't know. I don't buy into him. On the flip side, I'll say I think Sarah Lynn, she I like her. Z, I think is a compelling character. Your eyes bug out, so you may not. I think that it would be kind of interesting if maybe they have continue it. I had said before I want an ME show so they could have, I don't know, JW die of his lingering issue, or maybe when he goes on some stakeout without a gun and tries to apprehend somebody, he can get shot. But they could have her take over as this ME and keep a mystery going, or Chelsea Hobbs, who plays Jackie Shaw, the newspaper reporter. You could bring Benjamin Ayres back as now he's the new publisher of the paper, and they could do that. You just get rid of Jesse, and maybe we have something here, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know. It just it didn't land for me. We talk about too is like once they introduce a character, like, oh yeah, he's bad. You know, Yep. And then the best was there's the two who I was like, oh yeah, he's shady. Yep. He's definitely shady. And they both turned out to be shady. So it all worked. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's where I'll leave it. My mom said, can't say
Oh,
something nice, don't say anything at all. What about you?
I shouldn't say anything. No, I'm just kidding. I actually rated it higher. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was my least favorite, I think, out of the series. I don't mind this series. Like it's okay for me. It's one that I'd watch because I remember when it aired, in 2020, I think is maybe when it started, or 2019. And
A lot of people love it.
it's okay. It's very hit or miss for me. It feels like, the setting. I love this setting, it's very Cabot Cove feeling. So of course I love the water, the cute little bungalows. My favorite is JW's little house boat wherever he is, right next to the water. I think that's so cute. And they didn't spend a ton of time in there. One of the movies they did, that's my favorite one, when they had a little date in his little
Is that when he
bungalow.
makes his own, they have their tartar competition?
Yeah, I think so. And then they have it at their little kitchen table. It's super cute. That one's probably my favorite of the series, and I don't remember which movie that was. I agree with you. Jesse Metcalfe is not my personal favorite either. And Sarah Lynn, she I get mixed up with who did we just see in the family practices? Amanda Schull. Her and Amanda Schull are interchangeable sometimes, I think, for myself. They're not, again, both of them play a very more not expressive, more straight-laced character, which I guess for me is not my favorite. I like the wild, the large, the big personalities. And so nothing really drew me into it. Like not even her, not like Brandon Penning in that movie is really a big character, but he's a better actor than Jesse Metcalfe. So I can get behind that as a supporting character versus Jesse in this one. I had read someone's review of this when I was just looking at the app, and someone had said, both of these characters seem just really mean and angry most of the movie. And I would say, yeah, there isn't that like pleasantry. There's not like this warmth about it. Neither one of the characters has a ton of that. The whole premise of this movie, somehow you get $100,000 in your bank account and the bank seemingly is very casual. Like, oh, you have an extra 100,000, no biggie. We'll figure the situation out. That felt really weird to me, that whole plot point. I do like the thread that they do play in these series is like, hey, Jeff, who shot him? Why did he leave? Who hurt his partner or killed his partner? I like that they pull that into each movie. I think that's a nice thing. Personally, I don't care enough about it to have another movie to get that resolved, which is also maybe telling of the series in itself. Like, how some of them, obviously Mystery 101 leaves us with a cliffhanger. So does the Cut Color Murder. I want to have those solved. This one, I'm like, enough to really have that solved.
I agree. Like I have that in my notes that I think that the Martha Vineyard fans, which clearly neither of us are, have almost more of a argument to be upset about this one ending, which once again it ends because Jesse Metcalfe left Hallmark. So that's why he doesn't want to do it. But
Oh, he did? I didn't know if I knew that.
So that's
why he left Chesapeake Shores too?
Yeah, he didn't want to be like, at least from what I read, maybe not true, but the stuff I've read is he just didn't want, like he wants to take his career into different directions kind of thing, and so it didn't really fit with him. So, but like, oh, we're about to solve it, and got this guy, and it's over. All right, something they've been building for like at least Mystery 101 was a 5-minute snippet, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, and we know what happens because on the podcast we had John Christian Palmer walk through, but on this one you had 5 episodes or 4, excuse me, building to something that gets you right to the edge, and then you're done.
Well, what about the mystery
Jackie
here
Shaw
for you?
can solve it in my continuation.
Oh.
Okay, the mystery, as I said, I thought it was like conflict, because inherently I think it's actually a pretty interesting story that they had. Okay, like the little bank thing. But as soon as I saw the baker, I'm like, yep. He's some gangster guy who's posing as a banker, or excuse me, a baker. And then Noah, I'm like, that guy's embezzling before it even there. I didn't know exactly what was happening, but as soon as they said, oh, he's the brother, there's the thing, I'm like, he's embezzling. So I whatever. It just was one of those ones, and which doesn't necessarily, we've talked to, the fact that doesn't not have to ruin it. But for me, it was just a long, slow, painful death to reveal it. And I thought the revealing was kind of just like, eh. But, I thought it was kind of like they could have gone a different way with having the girl who discovers the thing and getting a little bit more into that whole thing than where it turned out to be. Like if it had been what were those, the plant, the lotus or something, not the lotus, the orchids. Like if it had really been some sort of crazy orchid type thing, that would have been a little more interesting than gambling debt. So I don't know.
I mean, that was the same with me. As soon as I saw the baker, I mean, I haven't watched this since 2021 when it originally aired, and I'm like, oh, he did it. As soon as he's on screen, I'm like, I just feel like he was it. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was him. And then that's where it was kind of a slow burn, waiting for it all to happen. I did find the fight at the end with him and Jesse Metcalfe. I found that kind of entertaining. Like that at the out on the dock with a little hook, which I'm like, how dangerous. Like you could just swipe at him once and like kill him, but he didn't go that route. So that to me, it was all like, I found this overall to be kind of slow. I mean, it didn't really have a pace to it that I enjoy in my Hallmark mysteries. What about romance? This was a very disappointing segment for myself.
I think Jesse has a clause that is like, I don't want to kiss that woman at all humanly possible. So let's, like, they do kiss once, I believe, in one of the episodes, but I think he is like, I don't know if she eats garlic bagels or something, that he just doesn't want anything to do with her. But at this point, and they're like dating since the first one, like it's not like the other ones where it's will they, won't they? It's just when will they? And it just keeps going, going, going. And in this episode, they clearly have already said, hey, we're into each other. We're interested in dating, and they had their moments and they didn't do it. So the only thing I can think of is Jesse put in his clause is like, I don't want to have any of this on-screen kissing stuff anymore, whatever, or I don't know. And then Z is got to be one of the most understanding, sympathetic, I don't know if I say girlfriend. I don't know what she is, because when she's talking to Britt and things, she's like, he's got a lot going on. I understand. Like she was just, everything was just understanding and accepting of the pace. So maybe she's the one who's like, I don't really want to kiss him in that like perma 5-day beard thing, whatever. I don't know.
I had the same. It drove me nuts, like I wrote in there. Like this relationship, like all of the mysteries of this era, that we go forwards, we go backwards, we go forwards, we go backwards. Will they, won't they? Kiss. It drives me nuts when they do this because it's annoying to the audience. Like, I don't know if they think a slow burn is what we're looking for, but to me, if it makes sense to move the relationship forward, move it forwards. Don't have us back and forth, back and forth. Like that seems so childish, especially when they're adults. And then I feel like I don't know if Hallmark thinks that we're gonna like lose interest in the mysteries if maybe they do get married, and then all of a sudden we're not gonna like them because it took Aurora 18 movies before she finally gets married. Well, and then the show
Well, you had
obviously
to find
done.
someone who'd marry her.
Well, then the movies are done, but that's because Candace moved on. But that's something where I'm like, I wouldn't have cared if they were married or not married through the last 10 of those movies. Like have them be together. It doesn't matter. That dynamic does not change. Or it shouldn't ideally change. Or if it does, like just like in cases, that's a married couple. Like I feel like we're okay if they do get married. We don't need to have this pull back and forth because sometimes it pulls away from the movie and it annoys the audience more than anything.
Well, along your thing, like it's the slow burn. This one just, there's no progression at all to me. It doesn't seem. They
And they've known
started
each
out
other since childhood.
right. They started this way in the first episode, and it just seems they're exactly the same place they are in this episode. Like it just, at least other ones have a little progression. Well, they won't. We talked about it in Curious Cater, whereas last one obviously they went for it, but there was at least you could see it building, right? They may step back, but it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. Whereas this is just sort of jumping in place for 4 episodes. The other thing I find very funny is he makes the comment of he's like, oh, I'm always going to protect you. I'm going to keep you safe. Yet he's always, okay, not, hey, Z, you stay back. Come on, Z, let's go here. Z, go flush him out. Hey, Z, you go talk to the baker while I hang out back here and I call. So potentially he kills you. He like just drags her into everything, but I'm here to keep you safe. Yeah, no, that's not how you keep someone safe. So whatever. Like I
What
say,
about a character?
he's trying to kill her so he doesn't have to kiss her. I think that's what's going on.
Oh, what character did you enjoy?
I wonder if we have the same one. Britt.
No.
Okay. Britt, her buddy, and Britt plays Melody in Family Practice. So she's still, and to
Different
me,
character. Different character. I like her as an actress, but not the same character, which is good. Shows
Oh
her
yeah, yeah,
range.
yeah. She wasn't the same type person, but she was a similar one who I found as being just a very supportive, good person who has the insight that maybe the main character lacks and provides good perspective and all that. So very much liked her. She is cute as can be, so I have no idea why she has yet to ever get a lead in a rom-com because she stars in a lot of rom-coms. And like I say, she's adorable. She's also has, some diversity going, which we know Hallmark's trying to do. So it seems like all the things that you would want for a Hallmark lead, she's got. So let's move her on up. So
Agreed.
Brit.
Mine is Chief Madres. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Uh, I find that the way he talks to be very
But that's
melodramatic.
Z's dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Melodramatic. He's soothing. He's calming to me. He just seems like this is like when I think of a police officer in a Hallmark movie, he is who I think of. He is just that dude.
No, Stephen
So,
Huszar is the police officer for Hallmark movies.
well, I'm talking about like maybe a father
Oh,
figure, not like a
the
young,
cop. The
yes, more of
cop.
like the father
Right.
figure who's been at the station for years and years. He's who I would think of. So that's I feel like he's been in other ones too, and he has been my person. So it's just I must like him as an actor. And then I was looking up what else he's been in for Hallmark, and he was in the Rip and Tide with the Niall Mater.
No.
And so
Okay.
I was like, oh yes, that's right. He was the dad in that one as well. And then he's been in some other Hallmark movies as kind of that side character, the father. So he's enjoyable for me. What do you have for your trivia?
I had a stretch. I really did. Sarah Lind can walk on stilts and play the banjo. That's all I got.
Don't worry, mine's not much better. So mine is fun fact. So Jeff, or JW, as the chief calls him, his full name or his character's name is actually Jefferson Washington Jackson.
A little
So after
presidential.
President. So that was my fun. I thought it was kind of fun. That's neat. I also have one final thought I put in a category that I didn't know where to put. So Jesse Metcalfe delivered this line. That's as serious as poison kombucha, which I found hilarious because that is where this movie took us in a direction of like, that's as serious as poisoned kombucha. And that's in a nutshell describes this movie. A very just that's our intense murdering weapon because
Hemlock.
she makes her own homemade kombucha.
And hemlock. I mean, I don't know if there's desert hemlock. You probably have some hemlock up your way.
We do have hemlock. You have to make sure because it looks like I think it's Queen Anne's lace. There's a few that look alike, and so you have to be careful when you're picking them. Or is it yarrow? I'd have to look that up.
You better if you're gonna
I
go.
don't. I have not picked up my own. Clearly, I will buy because I don't trust my herbal skills just yet to do that. Oh, well, what do you got for Hallmark and Chill?
You know what? I'm going to say watch Mystery 101 for the same kind of vibe, but done way better.
Well, I have Murder She Wrote, season 2, episode 2. Joshua Peabody died here. ... Possibly. A cheap tycoon with many enemies is found dead on the construction site of his high-rise hotel. So it's a connection to the past because the killer in Murder She Wrote might possibly have some connections to the construction people, but in a roundabout past way that we find out. There's lots of ocean scenery, which is also present in the Martha Vineyard. And then just like the entanglement of different people involved in this mystery, as well as in Murder She Wrote, and then the small town feels. So I kind of got that got that episode to connect with this movie.
You know what? I'm going to go back and discuss the movie once again. They said that they put the money, because it was in the description, they put the money in Z's account, the sister, to alert to the brothers' gambling issues or something, right? I'm not
That
quite,
doesn't make sense.
yeah, the whole thing on that just,
That's what I said in the beginning, that I didn't understand the whole premise of the 100,000, and the bank was very nonchalant about 100,000 just being placed in someone's account, which I can't imagine that would be the case if we actually went to the bank and you're like, hey, where'd this money come from? I can't
but she
imagine
said
it's
she did it because she wanted to alert Z, or I don't know.
that doesn't
Whatever.
make any sense
Let's be
though.
done talking about this movie, shall
Okay.
we? Let's talk about what we're gonna do. Or I guess
Fans corner. All right, here I said I put up a poll very last minute, but this is actually pretty good sample size. I got about 50 people in a 2-hour poll, so I just put it up. So these results could change. As of now, 5 of 5. These are the people who would have loved as a series as a whole. So we're talking Martha Vineyard's Mysteries as a whole. 12% love them, 5 out of 5. 4 out of 5, which is 29%, say they're good. 35% say middle of the road, and 24% is 1 out of 2, not great. But I would give it one more vote, and not great and 4 out of 5 are going to be equal. So my guess is this is going to flip. And so I will share this on my Instagram, or I will have it in my highlights by the time you listen to this to see those actual poll results after 24 hours.
I surprised just because a lot of people, when we do things about mysteries, a lot of people seem to love it.
I never hear about this one.
I
I
seem
had
to
one
get a
person who
lot.
said they liked it, but most it's just same as me. It's a forgettable one.
I think what it is there's a small group who are very, very vocal, loving it and like it a lot. So,
It's like us with
but
Gourmet
once again,
Detective.
we talked about it last week. Everyone's got their thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, we like gourmet, and people, not everyone likes that.
they'd be wrong, but
Oh, well, what are we gonna review next week?
next week, finally, we're going to the Motor City. It is tip line time.
I've already watched it, so
have
and I
I.
have not told you what I think of it. I'm saving it
I know
for the episode.
usually I get it out of you, and I'm the one who holds back.
I am holding back, so you'll have to see what we think of it live, because Eric will not have a clue what I think.
Nope. I watched it again right the day it was available.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to, before we review next week, I'll watch it again to have it be fresh. But all I'll say, it takes place in Detroit. So
That's all I gotta say. We'll see.
all right, Andrea. Good times.
All right. Bye.